Summer's officially here, and the bikini sale at shackshop.us is happening right now. Get hot styles, bold prints, and perfect fits, all on sale for a limited time. Whether you're beach-bound or poolside, we've got the bikini that makes you feel confident, cute, and totally summer-ready. So don't wait. Head to shackshop.us and shop the sale before it ends. That's shackshop.us, your new favorite bikini spot.
Clinton's attempt to avert House contempt vote rejected by Oversight Chairman. Attorneys representing former President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton made a final effort to avoid a looming House contempt of Congress vote in the Republican-led investigation into Jeffrey Epstein, but the proposal was firmly rejected by Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer. In a letter dated January 31 and obtained by CNN, Comer made clear that the committee would not accept what he described as unreasonable conditions offered by the Clintons' legal team. The rejection all but guarantees that the House will proceed with a floor vote on contempt resolutions as early as this week. The dispute stems from the Clintons' refusal to comply with subpoenas issued by the House Oversight Committee as part of its probe into Epstein, the late financier and convicted sex offender whose network of powerful associates remains under scrutiny by lawmakers. A standoff months in the making. Comer noted that nearly 6 months have passed since the Clintons first received subpoenas and more than 3 months since their scheduled deposition dates. The former president and former Secretary of State did not appear for those depositions, prompting bipartisan support within the committee in January to advance contempt proceedings. It has been nearly 6 months since your clients first received the committee's subpoena, Comer wrote. Your client's desire for special treatment is both frustrating and an affront to the American people's desire for transparency. According to the correspondence, the Clintons' attorneys had been searching for what they described as an off-ramp from contempt for several days, engaging in repeated discussions with committee staff. What the Clintons proposed. Under the latest proposal, Bill Clinton would agree to sit for a voluntary transcribed interview rather than a sworn deposition. The interview would last 4 hours and take place in New York City. Lawmakers from both parties and their staff would be allowed to ask questions, and both sides would be permitted to bring their own transcribers. The interview would be limited strictly to matters related to Epstein, according to the letter from Clinton attorneys Ashley Callan and David E. Kendall. While the lawyers continued to argue against compelling Hillary Clinton's testimony, they suggested she could either submit an additional sworn declaration or participate in a similar in-person interview if the committee agreed to withdraw the subpoenas and contempt resolutions against both Clintons. Comer's rejection. Comer rejected each of the key terms. He said the committee could not downgrade a subpoenaed sworn deposition to a voluntary interview, nor accept limits on the scope of questioning. Comer emphasized that the committee's authority rests on legally binding subpoenas, not negotiated alternatives after months of noncompliance. He also questioned the request for a firm 4-hour time limit, arguing it could allow Clinton to run out the clock without fully addressing lawmakers' questions. The chairman further raised concerns about the request for a separate transcriber, noting that an official court reporter would already be provided by the committee. If the former president had offered a voluntary interview at the outset, the situation might have played out differently, Comer wrote. But given that he has already failed to appear for a deposition, the committee cannot simply have faith that he would not refuse to answer questions. Comparison to Hunter Biden case. In his letter, Comer referenced a committee's handling of Hunter Biden, who ultimately agreed to appear for a sworn deposition, not a voluntary interview, after the House moved forward with contempt proceedings against him. The comparison underscored Comer's position that high-profile witnesses should be treated uniformly, regardless of political affiliation or status. Hillary Clinton also remains subpoenaed. Comer also rejected the alternative arrangements proposed for Hillary Clinton, including the submission of another sworn declaration in place of live testimony. The committee has maintained that in-person testimony is necessary to evaluate credibility and follow up on documents and statements already in the committee's possession. With the chairman's rejection now formalized, the House is expected to move forward with a final vote on the contempt resolutions, escalating the confrontation between congressional Republicans and 2 of the most prominent figures in modern Democratic politics. Clinton's denials remain unchanged. Bill Clinton has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing in connection with Epstein. While his name appears in flight logs and social records associated with Epstein, no criminal charges have been brought against him, and he has stated that he severed ties with Epstein well before Epstein's wrinkle troubles intensified. Neither Clinton has publicly commented on Comer's latest letter.